Valerie with Tempost Sales, and today's video is a short haul video. As I alluded to in my last video, my hauls are going to change a bit. Rather than give you a day's haul of everything I bought, I'm just going to do highlights of several different sourcing trips. So I think that'll be a little more interesting. This video today is 3 different stores, and it's after my self-imposed restriction in sourcing for the month of January. The plan was to slow down my sourcing so I could list the stuff from my wealth pile. Yes, new name, wealth pile. And I wanted to be more deliberate in my sourcing, picking higher priced items. And so I took a break to reevaluate my strategy and figure out how I was going to do that. So let's get into this haul, shall we? These are items again from three different stores, one a consignment store and 2 thrift. The first thing I'm actually going to say is because I was on restriction for a whole month, I did the best I could. I had gone into the thrift store to actually find something that I actually needed for a computer part, and I was hoping to find some cables. And I walked past this, I can't say his name, Ermengildo? Xenia? Ermengildo? Is it G is supposed to be silent? I don't know. Xenia tie. And I just couldn't pass that up because the last Xenia tie I sold for, I believe, $190, somewhere around there. But it was way more beautiful than that one. It was way more unique. I couldn't find anything similar to that pattern. I'll put a link to that tie or a picture of that tie in the video. And yeah, I paid, I think, $1 for that tie, and I sold it for almost $200. So I think maybe $175, $150. I don't know. I think I had it listed for $200 and took a best offer. Anyway, so that's the item that I bought before my restriction was over. And I went to one thrift store. I knew I was going to go to 2 thrift stores before the month of January was over. One, because they offer a coupon during the month of September. If you spend, I think, $35 or $40, you get a coupon, and everything you buy before the end of January 31st, you get 20% off. And this is a store that does dollar days and half price days. So I went on a dollar day, and woo, everything was 80 cents. Anyway, I was going to say this is my first Lululemon, but it's not. I had a men's Lululemon t-shirt that sold like probably within 24, 48 hours. But these are my first Lululemon women's. They're very low rise. And I think they were not the thrift store that I got this from. I think they were, not really sure, because it's definitely Lululemon, but it doesn't say Lululemon any there, and it didn't have a size. But I know from watching videos, I think this was a tip from Empty Hanger. No, maybe was it Empty Hanger or? Yeah, I think it was Empty Hanger. And she says like the tag is in the size is in the pocket. So I know that's a size 6. And I knew they were itty bitty, but that rise is worrying me. But I figure, I'll probably sell a Lululemon before I sell a Talbot's. So I figure that was probably a good buy. A lot of the things I have today are black. I'm sorry about that. So it's going to be very dark. Yeah, and nothing against Talbot's. I sell Talbot's, but it takes a little while longer to sell. Oh, actually, today, I lied. This is from 4 different stores because I got this at TJ Maxx during their yellow tag sale. And I wasn't familiar with it's a bodysuit, leopard, and I wasn't quite sure with the brand. This is Gaze. But when I first looked up the comps, it was like getting like $9, and I put it back. And then I realized I was looking, because I was using Sellhound, I was looking at the used prices. So I flipped it over and looked at the new prices, and they were getting enough to make this worth my while. I got a lot of shoes and boots. It's sort of the get rid of winter season. So some of these items I may not rush on getting them listed. just because I know they'll sell later in the year. And so I like to use that whatever's on sale to just stock up on winter items, because since they're going for really cheap. This is a brand they don't feel, are they leather? Oh, it says leather upper. They don't feel like leather. They feel like, the cheap cowboy boots, but these are small and they don't have the size in them, unless 30 is the size. I don't know if you can see that. 30 might be the size, because that would probably, I think 30 is, I'm not sure if they're kids or what. They're really small. I mean, that's my hand. Doot, doot. But these are Old West, and their style 8110. I did not look up the comps on this one because people didn't realize that the dollar shoes were in a certain area, and I found them. And so I was going through everything and I had all the ones I wanted on the floor. And then somebody was like, "What are you looking at? What are those?" And I was like, "Oh, dollar shoes," and made sure I had all the ones I wanted out. Oh, I didn't want to show you those. Oh, where are the ones I wanted to show you? Darn it. I grabbed the wrong ones. Anyway, I also got these boots, which are Roxy, and they're little wedges with this little like sweater type thing at the top. And I love Roxy personally. I don't know if it sells well, but I love it. I have a pair of Roxy shoes that I've had for about 10 years, and they're lovely still. Well, not lovely, but they're kind of messed up, but they're lovely on my feet. I love wearing them. Whoops. I also got, oh, I guess I can untag these. Woo, Velcro. It sounds so lovely to my ears. It's like music. These are Tundra boots. I also didn't look these up. I didn't look anything up, to be honest. Again, it was a fight, and I didn't have room for the shoes in my bag that I brought, because this store, you don't get really a cart. It's better if you have a bag. So I took my IKEA bag in. But these are Tundra, and they just had a good feel to them. And then when I looked at the label, it says something about, I'm just gonna read it to you. It says, oh, I can't because I can't see it. Designed and manufactured for harsh Canadian winters. So I thought those might be a nice solid brand, and I went ahead and got them. And I wasn't going to tell you prices and these things, but they were $1. So there's that. This is an Old Navy jacket, but it's kind of like that Sherpa sort of thing. And it just came out of the wash. When I picked it up, it had been on the ground a few times, and it had like all sorts of, you can see these little fuzzies. It had a bunch of them on there. And I thought, well, if they don't come out, I can probably brush them out. But most of them came out in the wash. Okay, I had to take a break for a minute, but I'm back. And I pulled out some more things, just so this haul might be longer than I planned. Anyway, sometimes my consignment store will, a couple of days beforehand, I'll go in and kind of scope out and see if there's anything I want. And I wanted this bag for myself. I might sell it later on, but I just love like this little crinkly fabric. I don't remember what it's called, because everything I keep saying comes up with taffeta, and that's not it. But I loved this, and this ended up going for $1. So it's mine. Happy days. Just a little quick thing. Even when I buy something for myself on my spreadsheet, I'll mark it just in case I decide to sell it later on. I know how much I bought it for. This is probably the most expensive thing I bought here in the pile, and it just made me so sad that this ended up at a thrift store. That I just had to buy it because I had to know that it was going to go to somebody who appreciated it. And I believe it's a table runner, and it is hand stitched. And I think the fabric choices and the color, and I'm going to show you an up close of the quilting. I think that's just spectacular. And it has a name tag on here, which I believe says Meanie or Neen or something like that. You can't see it in the thing, but this is looked at it and I thought it was a full-size quilt and I was going to lose my mind. But this is so beautifully done. I mean, this, what is this, Mariner's Compass, I think? It is so incredible. And then even the fabric that they chose for the backing, look how vivid and beautiful those purples are. And I got this for $18 minus 20% off, so $3.60, so $14.40. That is not bad. And because it just made me sad. It was just sitting there and somebody's, you know, little hands made this, and it feels like it's never been used. And I will probably sell it. I might keep it for a while. I will probably sell it though, and sell it on eBay. Another thing I got, and then were these really cute pair of shoes from Max Studio. They are velvet, and I love a round toe. And then look at this heel. It's kind of got like a filigree silver heel. I did not look these up, but they looked really nice. They're worn, but you know, not bad. And the soles are leather. And they are, why am I showing the other shoe? It looks just like the first one. Size 7.5. And that's usually about the smallest I like to go on a shoe, maybe 7, because I noticed I sit for a long time on 6.5 and below. And then sometimes I put a 6.5 up in it, or a 6, or even a 5.5, and it's like boom. And then I think, oh, you know, all the other ones are going to sell, and then I sit on them for a while. I recently just sold, like at Christmas time recently, sold a pair of 5.5 boots, which I wasn't sure when I bought them if they were even children's size or not. Speaking of children's size and boots, oh my God, I don't normally pick up children's items, but Kitty Tims, are you kidding me? And they look, it just makes me think that they might be fake, because they were $1. But they feel real, and I'll just have to do my research. Do they have a name tag in them, or you know, whatever? Yeah, they do. I don't know. And I don't think they've ever been worn, but they were, I can't imagine that nobody would have snapped them up for whatever they had price listed for them. They had them at $20.49, and at some point they would have gone to half off, so they would have been $10. And I can't imagine that somebody wouldn't have picked those up for $10 unless they were hidden and didn't see them. Because, you know, there's stores, people do that. They hide stuff and they want to come back for it later when it's on sale. I do not do that. I feel like the fun is in the is in the hunt and not gaming the system. So that's me. Okay, going on. I didn't know whether to get these, but because it's a brand I haven't seen in a while, I have them listed already. These are Le Tigre, like little joggers, and they've kind of got that Miami look to them. They're kind of an aqua with this corally pink color. You can see it better here with a drawstring, and it's got the little Le Tigre on there, the little tiger, and they are size extra large. So I figured if the Le Tigre wasn't the pull, then possibly just the color and the size would be enough. But I thought they were nice, and I've already got them listed up on Poshmark. Another thing I found, which I almost looked over. I almost didn't even, I passed it by, and then I was like, well, let's look. Because, you know, like I said on the boots, they didn't feel like leather. These didn't feel like leather either. And these are Jessica London, and they're size 20 or 22. Size 22, full length, leather pants. Look at that. And as far as I can see, they look lovely. There's nothing wrong with them. Like, I noticed that there's a lot of Jennifer Lopez stuff listed on Poshmark, but the items that sell don't really sell for much. But I just felt like this dress, I'm buttoning it up and zipping it so you can get the full effect. I just felt like this had a certain simple denim beauty to it. It's a heavyweight denim, and you can see it's got double belt loops, so you can put a belt on it. It's like a hip belt. It's got a collar. The front, It's got a notch collar. Yeah, it's got a notched collar, and the front snaps, and then there's even a fly here. But it's a little mini, and I thought it was cute, and I picked it up because it reminded me of my favorite dress that I bought when I first lost a lot of weight. When I was in college, I lost that freshman 15 and then some, and I was fitting into like a size 8, 10. It was glorious. But it reminds me of that dress that I had, which was red, and I wore way too many times. I don't remember how much that was. I got home and I'm missing the receipt from one of my trips, and I'm upset about that because that means I can't catalog everything correctly. It's probably here in a pocket or something, so I'm still thinking I'll find it. I found this Bisou dress, and it seemed simple and elegant. I've never sold this brand before. I did not look up comps. One of my goals was to look up comps more often, and then it just ended up being like this free-for-all frenzy. And then I ran out of time because I had to be somewhere and I only had 2 hours. So if it was cheap enough or half price, pretty much I got it. And I did not look up comps in the store. I did today. We went to TJ Maxx today, and I had like 12 things in the cart, and I think I ended up coming home with 4 by just looking up comps alone. I also got this men's Columbia shirt. Oh, good Lord. It just came out of the washer. And I thought like, oh, it'll look nicer when it comes out of the washer. No, it doesn't. It just looks crazy. So we're going to steam that out. Okay. So it's just a button down. I forgot what they call this little vent thing. Like a hiking shirt. And it's Columbia, so it'll probably do fairly well. I'm going to list this on eBay. Hopefully for somewhere around $30. We'll see. If I can make it look like a $30 shirt without all the crazy wrinkles, then that's what we'll do. This I found on the ground. And always look on, look from top to bottom, because sometimes, like I said, people hide things so they can come back and get them. And I should have taken this outside and looked at it because it's wool. I'm snapping this up. But this is a Zara woman jacket. Fashion needs to reevaluate their marketing, because it's like, if Zara woman, and I mean, I'm not like talking, gender specific thing, but it's like saying like, if you're a size 6, you're not a woman. But if you're a size, what is this? I think a size 20, it's an extra large. So if you're an extra large, then all of a sudden that makes you a woman. I don't know. I don't agree with that fashion. But I thought this was a cute little jacket, and I've got to check it for moth holes. I did check it, and I didn't see any. But as you know, and I've said before, thrift store lighting is notoriously bad. And I looked over it, and I love the side button. It's actually snap, and then the back has this little belt on the back, and I love the trim, which is kind of like a grosgrain ribbon. And if you can see here, they've made it like a little pinstripe with stitching in blue. And so I just thought that was a very special looking jacket, Zara woman. I have recently ventured into the lingerie market, and I can't find it, but I also found a brand new Spanx bra, which has been selling for about $35. The Spanx bra I got was new with tags, and this is Airy. Yeah. Airy? Whatever. But it's a little bralette. I can't quite hold it up so that everything looks nice, but you get the idea. And it's a nice ivory color. I believe it's a large or an extra large. And I think we're on the last item. Yay! The last item is another Columbia. And I've never seen this in all of my Columbia lookings, which I'll admit, are fairly limited. You know, you see it on people, but I hardly ever looked at it in the store because it's kind of not my style. But I did wear one the other day, and it was freezing cold, and it was that Polar Tech. It was kind of warm and cozy, so I might be into the Columbia. This is Columbia Titanium, and it's a hoodie, and it's got, I don't know, with this microfiber sides, pockets. Actually, the pocket, yeah, the pocket is, it's like a hidden kangaroo pocket almost, because it meets at the zipper. It also has this titanium, and this is also a pocket, a zippered pocket. Boop. And I think this will do fairly well. I got some more Columbia. I also got some workout pants. I got about 3 sports bras. I even got some makeup, which I was very persnickety about getting because I felt like the prices weren't low enough. But when I looked at the comps, it seemed to would be doing well. So I took a chance. My goal is always to get something in every category that Poshmark has, and also to flesh out my eBay store with a lot of different types of items, a lot of sizes. So I have like car parts and computer items and, you know, things like that on eBay. Oh, I forgot one thing. I bought my first lamp. I have never been the person to actually want to buy a lamp, but I could not resist this one. And those of you who watch Crazy Lamp Lady, she knows her lamps. I do not know my lamps, but I was just really attracted to this one. And it's vintage because it's got this old plug. And when I looked at it in the store, it didn't have the harp. Doesn't have the finial, but it didn't have the harp. And I looked on another shelf and I just saw this random harp and I'm like, well, it's got to be this. And at first I couldn't fit it, so I left it on the shelf. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, you didn't put it on correctly. So I went back and paid attention and blah, blah, blah. Got my lamp. And it was $5, although items with a gold tag were half off. And then I got my 20% off. So $2.50 and then minus 20%, so 50 cents. So $2 for my lamp. Yay. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like it and you like this content, go ahead and throw a thumbs up or leave me a comment, or I invite you to subscribe. And if you really liked it, put a ring on it by clicking the bell and you will be notified every time I have a new video up. Until next time, remember, everyone's definition of success is different. Don't compare yourselves to others and find yourself wanting. Just work as hard as you can and you will get there. So, in other words, define yourself and then refine yourself. Until next time, ta!